What's going on, guys? Wes here, Mitchell's Backyard Logging. If you're checking out my videos and you like what you're seeing, if you don't care, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and so you can get all my latest stuff. I have a little bit of everything, a little bit of cutting, a little bit of saw work, not a whole lot of saw work, just general things. And I do have a couple of videos of me porting some smaller saws. I probably could do it, but and I may get into it in the winter more, a little more heavy when it's a little too cold to cut or something. But porting really is not my forte. I mean, you know, I'd like to learn more about it, know how to do it and everything, but I like more of the cutting side of it. I like saws that go fast, but I like to cut more than I like to wrench on saws. And like I say, I can do most general maintenance. And I've even poured them, but I didn't time them or anything. I need to practice more of that. I just kind of did flow work. And that's pretty much what the channel's about. Saws, every once in a while I'll throw in a little something different if I'm using it or doing something, tools and whatnot. But anyhow, today I want to talk about a saw. It's the replacement for my 550. I sold the 572, 562, and the 550, and so without further suspense, I'm sure y'all all knew what it is. It's 261, and we're gonna weigh it up. It's full of gas and oil, but this thing is fairly light, and it's not too bad. There's a couple things that I'm not crazy about. I wish it had a two-piece muffler, and I wished it had a metal handle. But other than that, I like that it's lightweight. The 550 XP weighed in at the 550 XP weighed in at 13 pounds, 1336, I think is what it weighed in. 13 pounds, 30.36. We'll see what this weighs in at. It's quit swinging. It weighs in at 1236, so it's actually a pound lighter. As far as Husky's ratings and STIHL's rating, it's the same base horsepower. It's on this M-tronic version anyway. This is the M-tronic version. It's 4.0. I think they've got a 260 or 261 that's a little less power, but this one's supposed to have the same base horsepower, and it's a pound lighter. So I know a lot of people don't think a pound's much, but really it is. You can tell a noticeable difference and stuff. All right, guys, I'm doing some stuff to the 261. I initially said when I first got the saw that I believe that the clutch cover on the large clutch cover for like the 400 362 would work, and I believe it will. But I ordered me a piece for the 362, this piece right here, kind of like I did for the 400, and they don't quite fit in here. With a little modifying, you can make it work, probably. And it would be okay, but honestly, to me, it's not that great big of a deal, so I'm not going to modify it to do it. If I wanted to run a billet aluminum West Coast clutch cover on it, in a sense, to match my other saws, which I know it's silly, but you know, it's something that I like. I could probably make it work, and that may be something that happens in the near future. But all my West Coast saw stuff coming in to filter the dogs and all that, the deflector, chain catch, which I had an extra chain catch and things like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the dogs on. So we're going to install the dogs and filter and thing like that. Like I say, I'm not going to cut the back out of that just yet like I have on the other ones, because I'm going to use this saw for climbing, and if I have to chunk out bigger stuff, or I like saving these little baggies that come from there because you can put stuff in them. But I'm going to use it in the brush a lot and things like that. So I'm not going to put the filter out the back like I did on the 500i and the 400. I'm going to loosely install this, and then I'm going to get my chain catch, put it on there to make sure I don't have no problem with fitting it. One, on the 400, I had a little trouble when I go to put the clutch cover on. I had to wiggle it to get it in, and one, I think I forgot to leave that loose and then tighten it up after it was on there, if you get what I'm saying. He has videos on it showing how to do all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to hop on here. When you put these in, make sure that you have your bolts, the head of the bolt, in the cover, because if you put it the nut way, the nut will give you problems. They'll stick out too far. Okay, so to get this piece on, all I do is take a little 1/4 inch socket, set it over there in my vise, not on the threads, on the little shoulder right here, and get it pegged on there. And then once I get it started, I just take a screwdriver or something, a little bigger socket, whatever you can get on it with, and peg it on down. But I still have it to where it spins freely. It don't take me but a second to do it. And then you just come in, and there's a little metal-like sleeve washer. It'll show you to throw it away if it doesn't fit. Let me see if I've got the this right here. On the smaller saws, the 400, I didn't use it. This 261 doesn't use it. The 500i, it did work for me. It fits tight, so I had to. I put the dog on a flat on my bench. Put that on there and just give it a little peck. And then it took the slop out of the thing. You can do it without it, but you're going to have just the minute bit of slop. And once you tighten it up, if you don't tighten it up like I'm fixing to do right here, then you're going to have trouble getting the chain catch and the dogs on, you know. But I'll take this and get your nut, and yeah, I'm having a hard time holding on to stuff. I dropped that little sleeve, that's why I had to show you a picture of it, which, like I say, I don't need it anyway, and I wasn't going to take the time to sit there and find it. But I'm going to imagine the 500i and bigger, you're probably going to need it. And you can do it both ways. Like I'll put this stud in first and tighten it up, and then put the little white piece on. That way you have something to grab a hold of, because then when you're tightening, you can grab a hold of the little shoulder that I showed you. But really, all you need, it don't take a lot. I just get a pair of needle nose, clamp them on there to hold it, and then just tighten it up. Because now that I got that on there, that fits really good like that right there. Deal. But you'll have to take the 8mm. Well, this may not have grommets. The 400 had two little torque screws that held this piece on. And you got to put grommets in it, but I don't see no grommets with this one. So, like the uni filters, and I will tell you, like with the 400, the reason why I had the problem with it sliding off, I believe, is these West Coast filters. It's soft, it's rubber, but it's more pliable. Like the uni filter, I'll show you. I mean, you can sit there and do it. It's just like a real softer like rubber. You know, that's my biggest thing because, and I may be putting too much oil on it, I don't know. But I think my theory is you can't really put too much oil, I don't guess. And then I just take, and I'm gonna try to massage the oil in to the filter. Alright, so I got that. Pretty much the only thing left to do is do the deflector of the muffler mod. I'm going to check it out and I'll bring you back. And when I get it figured out, I kind of show you what I've done. I'm not going to show you the whole process because once you see what I've done, then you'll kind of know what you need to do. Alright guys, so I've got my hole drilled. And I've got one hole for the rivet. I'm going to put rivets in it. 5/32 rivet will work wonderful for the deflector hole and have enough to hold it. What I done was I got this bent to the shape that I wanted it and where I wanted it before I ever drilled my first hole of any sort. You know, that way I can put that rivet in, come down here, give that a little peck where I need it, a little more than what I've got on it, drill that hole, keep it stationary, and it'll be fine. And like I say, I wanted to get the deflector where I wanted it before I drilled the exhaust port. That way I didn't drill it in the wrong spot and then you're screwed. So anyway, I blew it out, but I'm gonna get it all together, re-drill it, blow it out, wash it out really good, and then we should be good to go. So I got the deflector on. I went ahead and tack welded it in a couple spots just because I got aluminum rivets and I knew better than to get the aluminum rivets. You really need to get steel rivets. But the way I had this thing bent, they weren't seating up quite as tight as I wanted them to, which I could have bent that a little more. But anyway, I went ahead and tack welded it, which, you know, a couple there, one up here got a little hot and burn it, which it's hard. It's kind of hard to weld. For me it is anyway on these thin mufflers with that wire welder, which I'm not the best welder in the world. I can get by pretty decent on thicker metal and whatnot, but I'm better with a stick welder, but it's might near impossible for me to weld these with a stick welder, but I have both. But anyway, just little cheap ones. But it's on there now. It shouldn't come off. I was worried about the aluminum getting hot and you know, breaking off or whatever, or expanding, contrasting, and plus this is thin, so I didn't have to pull the rib nuts. Probably would be the best way to go, but I just tack welded it and it worked out fine, got it bent. These look better than this one does, but I'm hoping that's it and you won't be able to see much of this. So all in all, I think it'll be all right. But the deflector fits good. It looks factory, other than that Java weld I got up there at the top. But like I say, when I first started, where I'm not really experienced at welding, I had my welder set a little hot. So anyway, I got it. All right, so I'm gonna put this back on, which I'm sure most everybody knows how to put the exhaust back on. I like to run my bolts through there and kind of get them lined up with the hole, so I know I'm on the right track. Which the STIHL handy dandy thing out. I go a little bit at a time so it comes in even. Alright, so this saw oils very, very well. Very well. I mean, you run it, which I've wiped it down, it's coming out right here, it's still coming out. I mean, it's, I had to turn it open. I've got it about halfway down and rerun it, it's still coming out. Which I know once sawdust gets everywhere and kind of built up, it's going to absorb a lot of that from running out. And also, I don't know for sure that if I've done my little trick as far as drilling that hole out in the bar, but when my light bar comes in, I'm definitely going to do that. Now, it oils great, it sounds great, it runs pretty great. I'll start it up one time for you here in the shop. I'll let you hear it. Settle wet. Reset again. I hate to keep resetting it, but you know, I want to make sure it's right. I've been it's pretty oil right now. Like I say, it oils like a champ. You ain't gonna get. I don't think it's all the oil any better. It's got oil coming out of every little deal of it. There's the drips where it was setting, but I mean that's a thick pile of oil right there. That thing is that thing's oil, and it's got it just dripping off of it. So I like that. I like to see the oil coming off of it. And like I say, as you get dust up in there and stuff, that dust kind of absorbs it, and it kind of makes a mess with sawdust. There's probably where it's been setting. But anyway, it's I need to clean my shop up. I've had a lot of activities going on. I ain't done a lot of cleaning. Cutting and stuff. I still need to go down there. I still got stuff to cut, but I was fairly busy all weekend last weekend. I got this saw in, so I'm gonna readjust the chain, but I've checked the muffler to make sure everything's tight. I've got it hot 2 or 3 times, and it's pretty good. I'm gonna adjust the chain, like I say, and get it all ready to go cutting.